Hi everyone, Joe here with True Equity. I'm sitting here with Jamie Fowler. She is the daughter of my client Douglas Fowler, and we're here today to do an interview about the recovery of her father's surplus funds. Surplus funds came about because Douglas lost his home through foreclosure, and the property sold to an investor at the auction for more than what he owed to the bank. But most importantly, we want to create awareness about competitors and attorneys out there that do what I do, but in an unethical manner and sometimes illegal. All right, so we have Jamie here. Doug couldn't make it today because of personal reasons. But Jamie still was actually the one who called me, and as well as Doug's not able to communicate because he's hearing impaired. So from the beginning, I dealt with Jamie. I have met Doug a couple of times. But Jamie went through the whole process between getting him to sign and everything like that. So Jamie took all the calls from the competitors, even signed up with another one, but ended up choosing us to go with. And so we're going to go through the whole process from beginning to end before the auction, all the way till having her money that I brought to her yesterday, right, which was September 7th, correct?
Yeah.
Sounds about right. All right, so let's get into the interview. All right, Jamie, thank you for being with us.
Sure.
And so I just kind of want to start with before the auction and what was going on. Let's talk about letters that you were getting that you told me about, and basically what were those companies offering. So.
Well, we first got the notice from the bank about the foreclosure.
Okay.
And a lot of other stuff was going on in the meantime that we kind of put it to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started getting letters from competitors saying that they would help us modify the loan, get us money for the loan, several different things.
Okay.
At the last minute, we ended up choosing this one company. They sounded like they were the best choice.
Okay.
I called them. It was a couple weeks before the foreclosure date or the sale date, and spoke with them. They seemed to be on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up hiring them.
Yeah, but how many times have you gone through this? So it's not really easy to pick and choose, right?
This is the first time. We've had this house since 1980.
The choice is tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So so you called them, and what did they say they were going to do, and what kind of transpired?
They said that they would get us the modification,
Okay.
that they would put in the paperwork for modification, and if that didn't work, then there were other options to choose.
Gotcha.
If the bank declined the modification.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up not getting the modification, and the other option that they gave us was bankruptcy.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So I really want to step back, take a quick look about that the loan mod real quick. So I'm going to attach an article down the link of this video, and it's a lawyer talking about loan mods and companies that are charging like $500, which was in the article. She was charged $600. The loan mods are free. You just go right to your lender. The lender should reach out to you for it, but if not, you can reach out to them, and it's a free service to see if you qualify for a loan mod or not. Okay, so no reason to pay anybody for it. Reach out to your lender. And then as well as with a bankruptcy, if they would have filed a bankruptcy and actually completed it, nobody would have got this money. So it leads me to believe that this company was they don't have any specific background in recovering money, so they just are trying to figure out what to do, but they just don't know what to do, because if they would have done that, they would not have gotten paid, and neither would the client, and it would just have been a hit on the client's credit, okay? And they wouldn't have kept the home. Sometimes a BK can be used as a tactic to prolong the foreclosure. It'll push it out a bit. But they weren't moving very fast, and they didn't do it till about 2 hours prior.
2 hours prior to the auction.
So not very much time to pull something like that together. All right. So we're at the point where the BK happened. It didn't go through. You guys didn't get to postpone the foreclosure sale. So now we're at the point of home sold. So what kind of happened after there?
Well, we didn't know that the home had sold until after the auction, and we didn't find out from the people that we hired. We found out from the people that bought the company that bought the house.
Okay.
But then they put a note on our door saying, we own the house, we're going to be back tomorrow between such and such time to take pictures. And that's how we found out that the house was even sold.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the home sold. You didn't find out from the company. Now, in regards to those surplus funds, in that agreement that you signed, I know it was it's a lot of legal jargon. It was pretty long. I saw it. It said in there, in the event that we're not able to save the home, we will recover it for this much. What did the agreement, like, how did it lay out the fees and structure of that agreement?
I think it was 22% of the total amount that was due to us, plus the legal fees to do all the paperwork.
You said plus what?
Plus the legal fees.
Oh, like
and
the
stuff
cost?
Yeah, the cost.
Yeah,
sorry,
the cost. And then you're paying them monthly, is that correct?
Right. On top of that, the $500 a month.
$500 a month.
On top of that, yeah.
Gotcha. And so you signed them with them a few days before the auction, and this was back in February, correct, 2018?
Right.
So February 27th, if I remember correctly, was the date of your auction. And then you reached out to us when? August 9th? Yeah, last month.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been August 9th. But you had said you'd canceled with them in when? Like
July.
Gotcha, so July. So this property was foreclosed on in February, so they didn't stop the foreclosure. They almost got you to do a BK, which would have taken away everything from your dad, no money coming back. And then they had you signed up in February. The home foreclosed in February, and they had you under contract for $500 a month until July, and then it sold. Then they still didn't have your money recovered, right?
Right.
So now you called me August 9th, and then what happened after that?
Well, I called you the day that we got basically kicked out of our house.
Okay.
So I had fired them in July when we got court papers for saying that we were squatting in the house, that we owed them $25,000 in rent. I'm sorry, no, I take that back.
I was gonna say that's a pretty high amount.
Sorry, that we owed them $2,500 a month in rent.
Okay, got it.
From the sale date until July 18th is when they filed the court papers.
Okay.
And that's when I fired the other company. But between probably a little bit past the auction until we got kicked out, we've been bombarded with people saying that we recover money.
Okay.
We would call the lawyer, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, that's a bunch of hogwash. Don't pay any attention. Just throw it out, tear it up, and throw it out."
Okay.
And then, like I said, we fired them in July. We just kept throwing out the papers for some reason. And then my dad...
You were fed up with it, right?
Yeah.
You didn't know who to trust and
Exactly.
who could actually do anything because they all looked relatively the same.
Yeah.
Right?
So when we got kicked out, my dad had kept 2 letters.
Okay.
One from you guys and one from a competitor of yours. I don't remember who.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got to where we were going to be able to stay, I called you first.
Okay.
Talked to you, and then I called the other people who wanted, I think it was 15% up front before we even...
So
15% up front, when we signed.
And they told you how much you're going to get how much?
Over $600,000. And I knew...
So well over, a good amount over what you were getting back. You still got a good amount back, but that was well over. Okay.
Right.
So trying to get 15% of a larger amount than you were getting back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was, I think, 30% after we got the check. So it had been 15 before plus 30 after.
Okay.
The 15 would have been off the 600,000 that they said we were going to get, and then I believe the 30% would have been after what we were entitled to.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. That would have been a rough one.
Yeah.
All right. So you chose me, but why?
You didn't ask for anything up front.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big seller.
Okay.
And just talking to you over the phone, you seemed honest. You answered everything that I asked pretty easily and explained things to where I could understand. You didn't mention a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo trying to throw things over my head to confuse me.
Good. And we do it for a reason because, we've been doing this for some time now, and it's tough.
Right.
Legal jargon is not easy to understand. I still don't. All right. So that's how you contacted me August 9th. today is August or September 8th, I believe. And you had the check in hand yesterday. We got the check cleared on September 6th. I showed up September 7th with the money, and you guys now have the money in hand. How do you guys feel about from the beginning to the end about what you went through and where we ended up now? How it turned out?
From the beginning when I hired the lawyers, I, still had a little bit of trust. And then
but because they were attorneys, right?
Right.
Well, I'm not one. I hired the attorneys, so it's a little bit of a difference. So I understand, because a lot of people trust the attorneys, right? Not all are bad, some are, and unfortunately in this business, there's a lot of rough ones out there. So okay, so I get what you're going with that.
So I lost a lot of faith in humanity. And like I told you before, you've kind of brought back my faith in humanity. There's some other people that, whatever.
No worries.
So, I feel a lot more hopeful about the future than I did even 2 weeks ago.
Good. It's real now. The money's in hand, and do you believe I did what I said I was going to do?
Definitely, yes.
Good. Okay, because that's super important. Because my goal is to be able to get videos like this, but if I didn't do what I said I was going to do, probably wouldn't get one. So, and well, I'm glad it all worked out.
Me too.
From basically here forward, would you, recommend True Equity?
Definitely.
Me and my team?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Jamie, so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so just want to quickly recap on that stuff. So really make sure you do your due diligence prior to choosing somebody, okay? I'm not saying call me first. I'm not saying not to call me first. All I'm saying is make sure you talk to people and see if they care at all about what's going on with you. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff that people say they're going to do for you. Doesn't mean, I'm not going to say that they're not going to be able to, but in our experience, I have not seen anybody fall through yet on what they say they're going to do besides recover these funds, and typically at a much higher rate than True Equity, me and my team. We charge typically far less. We saved you probably over $50,000, a little over $50,000. We did it in a much quicker time frame. That other company had like 4 months to recover that money. They didn't get it done. Not every case can be done as quick as Jamie's or Doug's, but typically we're done within a couple months here in California, though. Okay. There's a few nuances, but we'll tell you. Like, we're not going to tell you we'll have it done in a month and be done in 8. Once we get into it and we have you signed on, we are your representation. We're going to give you a more accurate time frame. I think I told you 1 to 8 months, right? Because I had to get into it first. I don't let anybody tell you what it is until they're actually able to get into it and can give you a proper answer. Because how do you know they have all the facts to tell you what it is? Whether it's another third-party company like True Equity or an attorney. For anybody to give you guarantees or promises, you should really step back and take a look at something like that, because we will never do that to you. All that we're going to do is tell you that we're going to do our best, and we have, as our own personal ethics and morals, that we're not going to go against that, because this is why. Because at the end of it, we get to have, even though we don't have residual business after it, we get to have personal relationships afterwards with our clients. They get to walk away with more money in their pocket and get a quicker return on it, so they can get out there and move on with their lives. So like I said, just step back, take a look at what's going on. Make sure you reach out to everybody and anybody you can before you choose. Do your due diligence. All right, you don't have to believe the first person you talk to. All right, thank you very much.